we're at a point right now where every industry out there seems to be struggling to get employees. We have more real estate agents in Minnesota and nationally right now than we ever have historically. Everyone thinks it's like HGTV. It's not. There's a lot to learn. There's a lot to do, and especially if you want to do it well. And I think just to remember that when we're in the business and that this is a profession and we need to behave that way and you need to run it like a business. Even if you're only doing it part-time, you can still run it like a business and make sure you're doing everything properly.
This is the Buffalo Community Podcast, all about the greatest small town in the USA, the people in it, and how it all works together. Here are your hosts, Tyler Reiss and Mark Benzer.
Hey everybody, it is Tyler Reiss with the Buffalo Community Podcast for episode 95, closely approaching episode 100. I think we've got some pretty fantastic plans for episode 100, or at least we will.
We just got to come up with them.
Yeah, they're all in here. They're all in here. But really a special guest with us today, Shelly Matuska. She is the managing broker here at Edina Realty, our office, her office. You know, I just have a door here. But Shelly, thanks for coming in.
You're welcome.
So, managing broker, is it a lot cooler than it actually sounds, or vice versa?
Oh, it is so cool.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. You know, it's really just, I'm a business partner with all the agents in our office. I really focus on just making sure all of our agent needs are met. And that's who my client is now. Being in real estate for 20 years, my former clients were clients just like you have clients, but now my clients are all the agents in our offices. So,
You said you've been a former agent. When did you get your career started?
Started in 2002. I have to, there's a lot of cobwebs in there. So I'm actually just coming up on my 20-year anniversary with Edina Realty out of the Monticello and Buffalo offices. At that time, I was teaching and coaching. And thought real estate was just going to be my side gig. It was going to be my summer hustle. And then one thing led to another, and all of a sudden I went into real estate full time. I first left coaching, and then the following year I left teaching, and I've been doing it ever since.
Sure.
So.
What did you teach?
I taught special ed, actually. And I coached basketball, and so now with hiring new agents, teaching and coaching goes hand in hand with that. So it's really cool.
I'm so glad you don't make us work out though. Like you're running baselines or whatever a basketball terminology is.
Not yet.
Not yet. But and you've been the manager for a few years now.
Yeah, I'm about 3.5 years at the Buffalo office here.
Yep. How did that transition go?
It was scary at first. I wasn't sure how it was going to go, especially because it was working with agents I had formerly been working with side by side. However, that turned out to be a good thing because I had some great relationships with those people, got to kind of build and grow those relationships even deeper. So that was fun. And then it's been a great resource when we do have new agents come in to be able to know those personalities and say, hey, this person might be a good mentor for you and kind of play matchmaker that way.
Are you looking for people who to reach out to you, like in terms of not like prospective agents, but like current real estate agents? Are you there for the people who want to use you as a resource?
Yep.
Or, just being independent business owners? Managing people who own and run their business has to be a challenge.
There's always challenges in there, but a lot of times everything is very collaborative. And I've always said, as an agent in this area for years and now a manager in this area for the past few years, we're very fortunate. We have a lot of great real estate agents, regardless if they're with us at Edina Realty or other brokerages. And everyone really has that mindset in our area anyways, like how can we make this win-win for everyone? And so I've had agents from other brokerages reach out, ask questions. If I can help, I'm going to help. We obviously have new agents get into the business and they need a lot of help and hand-holding, and we're there for that as a group as well.
And just to kind of speak on if you are an agent already, what's been great about you and previous managers is if I have a problem, it's it's pretty fun to just shift that problem onto you of like, hey, let's think about this. It's both of our problem really, but it's just another sounding board, and it's been a seamless thing of, knock on wood, we haven't really had too many problems,
Right.
but it's usually when it needs that extra elevated level, you're there. So if you are an agent listening to this, come and talk to Shelly. If you're somebody that was thinking about getting into real estate, what are those top qualities that you're looking for of somebody that, hey, you would excel in real estate?
It's been interesting over the years. I've always noticed how we've had a variety of successful agents, but no two agents are exactly the same. I see different personality types. Some are more quiet, some are more outgoing, some are very analytical, some are as far away from analytical as you can get, and everything in between. And what's cool is people want to work with somebody they know, they like, and they trust. And you can be that person, you can be that person, you back there can be that person. Everyone can be that person. It's just, you'll connect with those types of people that you feel most comfortable and that feel most comfortable with you. So
I've often said that, like so many people don't consider themselves salespeople. Like I'm not a salesperson. I'm not a salesperson. And it goes back to the know, like, and trust. Like everybody, we can all point to people that we know, like, and trust, but yet they wouldn't consider themselves a salesperson. And
Right.
I always go back to selling is serving. I do think that every personality type can sell. I think everybody has that ability to be knowable, likable, and trustable and help people solve problems, right? I mean, ultimately, that's what we do in sales is help people solve a problem. And but what they think sales is and what sales actually is, there's just a massive gap there. So I think helping people.
yeah, being service-minded is huge. I mean,
Yep.
because you're providing a service, a customer service, but you're also, like you said, problem-solving, putting out fires. Most people don't do a real estate transaction multiple times in their life, right? So when they do, there's been studies done that say next to the loss of a loved one, going through real estate transactions is the most stressful experience most people will experience in their lifetime. And so what's nice when you work with a professional is it's not our first, it's our multiple, we have many transactions, and we're able to kind of be the calm in the storm in those situations. So.
Very much so.
Very much so.
Very much so.
And what's great is we have so much experience at our Buffalo office. I mean, we have multiple agents that have been with us 15 years or longer, and myself included. And if we don't know the answer, we have great resources to pick up the phone, call. We got 3 attorneys we can call and say, hey, we don't know the legal answer to this. Point us in the right direction.
Sure.
And they do.
Yep. And as far as when I had first started, it was found out that the person, my mom and dad have been in their house for 34 years now. The person that sold their house when they moved to Buffalo actually is in our office, and it's really funny, and it's because they still get a mailing card from her every single year. And I said, hey, Linda, I think I'll take this one from here.
Yeah.
And, but it's been great. I mean, she's been in the community for a long time, a lot of years behind her, a lot of experience, and not just for customers that want to reach out, but for agents that are like, hey, I feel very fortunate of the group of agents that I was able to follow, because it was, if you're an agent or you want to be an agent, there's a track to run on, and you just have to run behind somebody to learn, and then spread your wings and fly.
Right.
Fly, Robin, fly. But I think there's a good culture here for that. Everybody's so willing to help.
They are. And historically, Edina Realty is the place to go when you want to learn how to do the business and do it well and do it correctly. And, that's our history, and that's one of our huge strengths, and we'll continue to do that moving forward. And
Absolutely.
because it's always changing.
Yeah. Well, let's speak about that a little bit. What's the biggest thing that's changed in the last 20 years?
Probably technology.
Yeah.
We have agents that have been in the business 20, 30 years, and it's for some of them, they grab onto that technology and they run with it, and for others, they all of a sudden decide, you know what, that's more technology than I want to deal with, and they'll decide to move on. And and everything in between. Some will take bits and pieces of it and be able to handle that, and then they'll hire somebody to do the rest.
Yeah. Technology is What's one thing that our industry could be doing better, or locally,
Oh,
real
that's
estate industry?
That's a good question. I just think making sure people know what they're doing. We're at a point right now where every industry out there seems to be struggling to get employees. We have more real estate agents in Minnesota and nationally right now than we ever have historically. Everyone thinks it's like HGTV. It's not. There's a lot to learn. There's a lot to do, and especially if you want to do it well. And I think just to remember that when we're in the business and that this is a profession and we need to behave that way, and you need to run it like a business. Even if you're only doing it part-time, you can still run it like a business and make sure you're doing everything properly.
Mm-hmm. When you started, you mentioned it was more of a side hustle thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden it turned into like, I've grown, I'm getting busy enough to where I can leave my special ed job and my coaching job. When you do treat it like a professional, I would imagine it's hard to do it part-time when you like it and you take it seriously, and more people want to use your services, and you're kind of going, I can't do this casually anymore.
Yeah. And that's what happened.
Yeah.
It got to the point where, that's why I left coaching first, because my evenings and weekends is when I was coaching. Well, that's when most people are available to look at houses, right? So I left that first, and then as it continued to grow, then I just made the decision to do this full-time versus teaching any longer. But most people can't just jump in and start unless they have a couple months reserved, because even if they sell a house on their very first day, we are commission only, and that first paycheck won't happen for 30 to 60 days later after the actual transaction comes together. So I tell new agents it is a very expensive hobby. So if you want it to work, you do have to treat it like a business and run it as such.
Yeah. I'll speak a little bit on that of getting started, and what are your qualifications of getting started, of teacher, coach, not in sales.
No.
I was a mailman for 6 years, not in sales. So it's kind of, it is what you make of it. So if anybody's on there like, well, I wouldn't be good at that, there's a lot of highlights in real estate.
There is, and I see many people that come from a variety of different careers. It's not always the same. And this year, I've really been excited. I've seen a lot of younger people look at this as their first career option. Oftentimes, people will fall into it maybe after they went one direction and they didn't like how it went, and so they are looking for something new, and they come our way. But right now, I've probably talked to the most, high school and early college kids than I have in the last few years.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, anything that you want to leave for our 250,000 listeners?
No, just it's a great job. I love it. If you are interested and just curious and want to find out more, I can definitely answer any questions. That's what I'm always available to do. If you're an existing agent and you're curious about what our office is like, give me a call, because I can give you some insight on that as well.
Sounds great. For the Buffalo Community Podcast, I'm Tyler Reiss.
I'm Mark Benzer.
Oh, and I'm Shelly Matuska, Edina Realty, Managing Broker.